Welcome to your channel, Night Vale Stories. I never thought a simple text message could freeze my blood, but that night changed everything. My phone buzzed at 1:13 a.m. One notification, no name, no number, just unknown. I ignored it at first. Maybe a mistake, maybe a glitch. But when I opened the message, I felt something crawl under my skin. It said, "I know what you did yesterday." I stared at the screen, confused. Yesterday? I barely even left my apartment. Before I could think, another message popped up, "You shouldn't lie, Kareem." My heart twisted. No one calls me by my first name except close friends, and definitely no stranger at 1 a.m. I replied with shaky fingers, "Who is this?" No response. Just 3 dots appearing, disappearing, appearing again. Then the third message arrived, "Check your window." A cold shock ran through my body. My room was dark, the curtains barely moving from the breeze. I didn't want to look, but something inside me forced me to. I turned slowly, and saw a silhouette tall, still, standing outside the glass like it was waiting for me to move. My phone buzzed again. "I've been watching you for a long time." I stepped back, breath shaking, feeling trapped inside my own home. I grabbed my phone and tried to call the police, but the line suddenly died, no signal at all. Another message came instantly, like the sender knew exactly what I was doing. "Don't bother." I cut it. That's when I knew this wasn't a prank. Someone out there knew my name, my routine, and now, apparently, my phone signal. And they were standing right behind my window. I pulled the curtain shut with trembling hands, but I could still feel the figure's presence outside, like its shadow seeped through the fabric. I backed away slowly, clutching my phone as if it could protect me. The screen lit up again, another message. "You shouldn't hide from me." My chest tightened. I typed fast, "Who are you? What do you want?" The reply came instantly. "I want to tell your secrets." My blood turned to ice. No one knew my secrets, not the real ones. Not the things I buried years ago, the things I swore I'd never say out loud again. I stared at the phone, my fingers numb. Another message arrived. Should I start with what happened 7 years ago? My heart nearly stopped. No one alive should know about that night. It wasn't even in the police records. I swallowed hard, trying to breathe, trying not to panic. My mind raced back to that memory I tried so hard to forget. Then the next message arrived. "Check your front door." My breath hitched. I moved slowly toward the hallway, every step heavier than the last. The house was silent, too silent. When I reached the door, I hesitated. My hand shook as I turned the lock. I opened the door just a crack. A small envelope lay on the floor. No address, no name, just a symbol drawn in black ink. A symbol I recognized. A symbol from 7 years ago. Before I could process it, my phone buzzed again. "Do you like the gift?" I felt my knees weaken. This wasn't just someone stalking me. This was someone who knew everything, someone who had been waiting for the right moment to come back. And tonight was that moment. I picked up the envelope with shaking fingers, terrified of what could be inside. The paper felt old, as if it had been kept for years, maybe since that night. I slid my finger under the flap and unfolded the single piece of paper inside. One sentence was written in messy handwriting. "You left him there." A shockwave hit me. My breath vanished. My vision blurred. This wasn't possible. Nobody knew about that night, the abandoned factory, the accident, the body. I dropped the paper as if it burned my skin. My phone buzzed again. "You shouldn't have run." I stumbled backward, bumping into the wall. My thoughts spiraled out of control. Who could this be? How did they know? Were they there that night? Before I could think further, another message appeared. "I'm inside." I froze. Inside? Inside where? My apartment? My building? My mind raced as I scanned the room. Everything looked normal, but suddenly every shadow felt alive. A soft creak echoed from the kitchen. Then another. Slow, deliberate, like footsteps. I held my breath, gripping my phone like a lifeline. Then a message popped up. "You don't need to look for me." Another message followed. "I'll come to you." My chest tightened so much I could barely breathe. The air felt heavy, thick, suffocating. I backed toward the living room, terrified to make a sound. Then, the lights flickered. Once, twice, then went out completely. Darkness swallowed everything. My phone vibrated again, lighting up my face. "Do you remember his voice?" Suddenly, from the darkness behind me. A whisper. A familiar whisper. A voice I thought belonged to a dead man. The whisper slid across the darkness like cold fingers against my skin. I spun around, phone shaking in my hand, but saw nothing, only shadows stretching in every direction. My heart hammered against my ribs. Then the whisper came again, closer this time. "Why did you run?" I stumbled backward, almost dropping my phone. That voice, it was impossible. It belonged to the man from 7 years ago, the man who should not be breathing, speaking, whispering in my apartment. My phone buzzed again. "Turn around." I froze. Every instinct screamed don't, but something stronger forced me to move. I slowly turned. And there, in the middle of the room, stood a figure, not fully visible, not fully solid. A tall, blurred silhouette, like a human shape carved out of darkness. It didn't move. It didn't breathe. It just stood there, watching me. My phone vibrated again. "He's disappointed." I felt a wave of cold dread crash over me. The figure took one slow step forward. The room temperature dropped instantly, my breath turning white in the air. I stepped back until my shoulder hit the wall. I couldn't scream. I couldn't move. Another message appeared. "He wants you to finish what you started." The shadow creature lifted its head slightly, as if acknowledging the message. Then the lights flickered again, and for a split second, I saw its face, or what used to be a face. Sunken, broken, twisted with anger and pain. I collapsed to the floor, shaking, whispering, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry," like a prayer that no longer mattered. My phone buzzed again. "He's close now." And for the first time, I felt breath on the side of my neck. I pressed myself against the wall, shaking uncontrollably. The breath on my neck lingered, cold and damp, like something dead exhaling on me. My phone slipped from my hand and hit the floor, the screen facing upward. A new message appeared. "It's time." I squeezed my eyes shut, terrified to look, terrified to move. The room fell silent, no footsteps, no whisper, no breathing, just a heavy stillness wrapping around me like a suffocating fog. Then the whisper returned. "Say his name." My heart stopped. I hadn't spoken that name in 7 years. I swore I never would again. My throat tightened, my voice barely forming a sound. "No," I whispered. The air turned violently cold. Another message appeared. "If you don't say it, he will." Suddenly, behind me, a voice. A broken, echoing voice calling my name. Not a whisper this time, a word spoken with anger, with betrayal, with something inhuman twisting every syllable. I screamed and crawled across the floor, grabbing my phone with trembling hands. The screen flashed one final message. "Open the door." I didn't want to. God knows I didn't want to. But something inside me, fear, guilt, whatever it was, forced me to stand. I walked to the front door, each step heavier than the last. My hand hovered over the handle. From the other side. 3 knocks. Slow. Deliberate. I swallowed hard and opened the door. The hallway was empty. Completely empty. Just a single phone lying on the floor, an old model, cracked, dirty, the same phone that belonged to the man from 7 years ago. My own phone buzzed one last time. "Now we are even."